Hello everyone, welcome back to the second video for today's lesson. This time we're going to be focused on ordering. This lesson will be much quicker as we are going to be doing the same strategy as we use when comparing and put that towards ordering. It's essentially the same idea, except with ordering you will find that you have more numbers. Now, with ordering we do need to teach you two new things. We need to learn ascending and descending. And as you can see from them, ascending simply means smallest to biggest. So often you'll be asked in an ordering question, can you please put these numbers in ascending order? Essentially that means put the smallest number first, biggest number at the end. And then you could be asked to put them in descending order. That means put the biggest number first, smallest number last. And I have the example written out for you here. If I was to give you the numbers 1, 3, 2 and 4 and ask you to put them in ascending order, it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, smallest number to biggest. If you were to put them into descending order, it would be 4, 3, 2, 1, biggest number to smallest. That is the difference between the two of these. Now, I'm going to do 3 examples with you, and in all of them, I'm going to be putting my numbers into ascending order. All of my answers are going to be put into ascending order. I'm still going to be using my place value chart, same as we did in our comparing lesson. This is going to be vital. We're still going to use the same strategy, putting our numbers on it and finding out which is the biggest, which is the smallest, and which ones go in between. And I'm just going to show you how we mark this on our place value chart. If you have got rid of your place value chart after the first lesson, please really quickly pause this and create another one. Okay, let's look at our first question here. Here we have 3 numbers, 0.54, 0.45, and 0.57. I am going to mark all 3 of these numbers on my place value chart. So I have 0.54, 0.45, and 0.57. And remembering that I'm going to put these in ascending order, I'm going to put the smallest number first, greatest number last. So, let's look at these numbers. Again, we are comparing them. And then we're just deciding which needs to go first and so on. We still follow the same strategy. Look at the largest value first. But if I look here, 1s is my largest value, but they all have 0 in it. So again, they're all equal at this stage. I then go into my tenths column. Now, these 2 numbers have 5 tenths in it. This number only has 4. That means that this number is the smallest number. And because I'm putting it in ascending, smallest to biggest, this number will go first. Now, these 2 have the same value, so I don't know which is the biggest number yet. I need to look at my hundreds column. Well, if I look at my hundreds column, this is 4 hundredths, this is 7 hundredths, which is greater. Well, the one with 7 hundredths is going to be greater, so that's my biggest number. That is my number that goes in between. So my smallest, my second smallest, and my biggest. So to show that on my work, because it's in ascending order, I have 0.45 first, followed by 0.54, and finally 0.57. That is what it means by smallest to biggest and how it looks when you write out your answer. Okay, let's look at our next example. This time we actually have 4 different numbers. Some of your questions in your challenge at the end will have 4, some will have 3 for you to put in order. Let's rub this off. And let's put these 4 numbers onto my place value grid. So the first number I have is 1.39. And I'm remembering 1 in my ones column, 3 in my tenths, 9 in my hundreds column. 0.88. Again, remember to put them in the correct column. 2, just 2. And finally 0.9. 0.9. So this one is quite a challenging question, as these are all different lengths, they have different digits in them and so on. Still, we follow the same routine. We look at the biggest value first. Well, I look here. I have 1 whole number, 0, 2, or 0. Well, straight away, I know which is going to be my greatest number here, because this has 2, and this only has 1, and these have 0. So I know this will be my biggest number. Now remember, I'm putting this as number 4 because that's my greatest number and I'm writing in an ascending order. So 1 to 4. This has to be my second biggest number. These two have 0 in it, so they are less than that 1. So I'm going to put 3 beside this to remind me that this number is going to be bigger than those two numbers. These will be my last two numbers written. Biggest number, second biggest. Okay, these two have the same. They're both 0. Let's look in our tenths column. Well, this one only has 8 tenths. This one only has 9 tenths. Remember, we don't need to worry about this top number anymore because we already know it's bigger than these two numbers. So this only has 8. This only has 9. Which should we think is bigger? Well, this one is bigger, meaning that this is my smallest number, and this is my second smallest number. Smallest, second, third, second biggest, and biggest. And the way we write this out is the same as the previous. We write our smallest number first, which is 0.89. Next, 0.9. Then 1.39, and finally 2. Smallest to biggest, ascending order. Finally, we have one more question here. And as you can see, this one's a bit different again. We actually have a value that goes down to the thousands here. But the same strategy as before. We put them all on our place value chart. We check and we go through. Let's start with this one. 1.431. 1.66 and 1.2. Again, I look at my ones column first. They're all the same. None of them tells me which is bigger or less than the other one. I look at my tenths column, and straight away I can see all 3 are different. This only has 2. That means it is the smallest. 1, because it's going to be the first number down. 2 is going to go beside my 4, because that is the second smallest, or the second biggest. The second number I'm going to put down. And 6 is my biggest number. Remember, I can forget about my hundreds and my thousands because the tenths have told me which are the bigger numbers. Again, let's put them down in ascending order. First of all, 1.2. Secondly, 1.431. Finally, 1.66. Now, some of you might be thinking that this must be bigger. It's a bigger number, it has more digits. But again, remember, we're working on the place value of it. So the place value tells us that this is a smaller number than that, hence why it goes second, and this goes as the biggest number. Okay, now, using your place value grids, please complete these 2 questions. Pause the video now, and I'll come back to you in a moment and we'll go through the answers together. Okay, let's go through these answers together. This one had 4 digits in it, this one only had 3. Let's go through the first one together. Let's write them all down, same as before. We put our numbers onto our place value grid. First number, 2.31. Second number, 3.21. Third number, 1.32. And finally, 1.231. Now again, we've slightly different numbers here. We have a lot of the same numbers being used, which can get confusing, hence why our place value grid is so important for when we're ordering. Okay, let's have a look. So, in our ones column, start with the greatest value. In our ones column, we have 1, 1, 1, 1 here. Here we have 2 and 3. So straight away we know these 2 are the biggest numbers. Which is the biggest? Well, obviously 3 is. So that would be my 4th number I put down, my greatest number. This would be my next one. Then we look here. 1 and 1, they're the same. We don't know which is smaller. We go into our tenths column. Remember, we can forget about these top 2 numbers. They've already been ordered. We look here. We have 2 tenths or 3 tenths. Which is a bigger number? Well, the 3 tenths is bigger. Hence why this is my smallest number. So my smallest number is going to be 1.231, followed by 1.32. Then we have 2.31. And finally, we have 3.21. Hope that's clear for you. Finally, we'll do our last question. Again, we're going to use our place value grid. We'll always use this, and even when you're doing your main task later on, please make sure you're still using it because it's really important. We're going to put down our numbers. Well, we have 0.986, 0.872, that's my H. Finally, 1.4. Again, some people will look at this and go, well, these two are definitely bigger than that. Again, let's look at our place value grid. 0 ones, 0 ones, and 1 1. Which is the biggest number? Well, straight away I can tell you 1.4 is the biggest number. This has 1 1, these have 0. Bigger number. That'll be the last number I put down. Let's look at the next two. Well, these two are the same. Go into my tenths column. Which is the bigger number? 9 or 8? 9 tenths or 8 tenths? Well, I know that 9 tenths is greater, 8 tenths is the smallest, 9 tenths after. So to put them down in order, remember we're still doing ascending, smallest to greatest. 0.87, 2, 0.986, and last but not least, 1.4. Okay, I hope those two lessons helped you. I'm going to help you for your main task. Again, remember the PDF for the flip that you will be going through will also give you further information, and please rewatch these videos to make everything nice and clear for you. You can also look online to get more information. Make sure you use your place value grid. Please, please, please make sure you're using that. It will make everything much clearer for you. I would still use them throughout all lessons. Even if you're 100%, just check your answers on that to make sure they're absolutely perfect. Okay, thank you very much.